Yo, welcome back to Eat, Sleep, Breathe Hoops with your boy, Nikki P. What's going on, Eat, Sleep, Breathe family? Let's dive right into it. Check it out. How many times have you been watching a game with your friends and the player gets hot? He hits 2 or 3 threes in a row, starts waving his arms to the crowd, celebrating, getting the crowd pumped up. He pulls up from the logo, and someone in the room yells it. You know the phrase, man, that boy's a bucket. He a 3-level scorer. And I sit there and I bite my tongue because I love the enthusiasm, but we got to stop calling everybody a 3-level scorer. Today we are fixing the language. We're drawing a line in the sand. On one side, we have the microwave scores. On the other, we have the legitimate 3-level scores. They're not the same thing. It ain't one and the same. And confusing the two is why every single year we're shocked when a guy averages 20 in the regular season and suddenly can't buy a bucket in the playoffs. We're going to break down the DNA of both types of players and show you what a real 3-level scorer looks like. We're going to look at 3 guys who define the term, three guys who epitomize scoring from all over the court throughout the duration of an entire game. Game in and game out. Playoffs, regular season, finals, even preseason. So let's dive into it. Part 1, defining the microwave, the streak shooters. Let's start with the microwave. The name comes from the old saying, he gets hot in a hurry, and that's exactly what these guys do. A microwave scorer is an emotional scorer. They live and die by rhythm. When the ball goes in, the basket looks like the ocean. Their confidence skyrockets. They start taking tougher shots, and for a 4-minute stretch, they can outscore the other team by themselves. But here's the critical characteristic. They are reactionary, not proactive. What does that mean? It means their scoring is dependent on the defense making a mistake or the flow of the offense finding them. They're usually spotting up, or they get the ball in transition. They're lethal in chaos of a broken play. Take Jordan Clarkson, for example. Coming off a screen, catching it on the wing, rising up without a dribble and knocking it down. That's rhythm. He catches, he shoots, and now watch the opposite end of the spectrum for Mr. Clarkson. He's getting the ball with a little bit of time left, 8 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever it may be, towards the end of the shot clock. Defender's set. He's struggling to create space and settling for a tough contested jumper. You see the difference? When the game is organized, when the defense is set, the microwave struggles to generate their own clean look. They rely on the offense to create an advantage for them. They're more so finishers of plays than creators of plays. Now let's take a look at Malik Monk. He's another perfect example. With the Sacramento Kings last year, he was incredible because he had De'Aaron Fox and DeMontis Sabonis creating the chaos. Monk just had to run to the spots and let it fly and, get in where he fit in and take easy plays on 3rd or 4th level defenders. He's a microwave because when he gets hot, he's nuclear. But if you take away his rhythm, if you force him to go one-on-one in the half court against set defenses for an entire 7-game series, you can shut that microwave off. The fatal flaw of the microwave is the game slowing down. In the playoffs, rotations tighten. Fast breaks are way fewer and far in between. Defenses don't make as many mistakes. The pace grinds to a halt. Every possession becomes a half-court chess match. In that environment, the microwave often goes cold because you can't just rely on feeling it. You have to rely on skill. Part 2, defining the 3-level scorer, the programmable assassins. Now let's talk about the 3-level scorer. This player is not a microwave. They're a slow boil. They're a programmer, not a reactor. A 3-level scorer can beat you with the ball in their hands against a set defense from any of the 3 zones on the floor. Level 1, at the rim. They can finish through contact, absorb the hit, and use either hand in traffic. In the mid-range, they can stop on a dime and pull up from anywhere, regardless of if they're going left, right, crossing over, pump faking, pivot, footwork, whatever. They could pull up from a dime off the 1-2 step within the mid-range from anywhere and let it fly and knock it down, regardless of what the defense is trying to do to stop them. Can they hit the fadeaway? Can they stop on a dime and pull up? Some of these microwave scorers can't really do that on a regular basis in the mid-range. This is the dead zone of modern analytics, but it's the promised land for playoff scorers and the true bona fide great of the great type players. Level 3, behind the arc. Can they step back? Can they, make the defense make sure they got to pay attention to them behind that 3-point line in addition to the mid-range and the basket? Can they shoot off the dribble? But here's a secret that defines the great ones. They have no real preference because they do it from all over all game. A microwave prefers to shoot threes. A slasher prefers to get to the rim. A three-level scorer reads the defense and takes whatever is given. If you crowd them, they go by you. If you sag off, they shoot. If you trap, they pass. To truly understand this, we have to look at the masters. And while guys like Devin Booker and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are the current gold standard, they're standing on the shoulders of giants. Let's look at the holy trinity at three-level scoring. The case study, part 3, Kobe Bryant. Beam. Y'all know what it is. When you look up three-level score in the dictionary, there should just be a picture of Kobe Bryant's follow-through. Kobe is the ultimate example because he had absolutely no conscience regarding where the shot came from. His only concern was how to beat his man. Level 1 at the rim. Kobe wasn't just a dunker. Watch his footwork as he attacks the baseline. He could take off from the left side of the rim and finish with his right hand using the glass to protect the ball from the shot blocker. He understood angles. The mid-range, level 2. This was Kobe's office, man. Another day at the office every night. It didn't matter where he was within the mid-range. Anywhere outside the paint and within the 3, on the left side, on the post, on the right post, on the left elbow, right elbow, wing spot, banking range. It didn't matter. Baseline, it didn't matter. He could post you up, face you up, pull up without using a dribble, just off the triple threat jab faking. It didn't step up, pull up off the 1-2, cross you over. It didn't matter. Kobe was unguardable within the mid-range, whether it is backwards to the basket or whether he was facing up his opponent. Kobe was just a savage in that mid-range level. And at the three-point line, level 3, Kobe evolved his game. Early in his career, he shot threes mostly out the catch. But later, he added the step back. He had the ability to rise up from deep off the dribble. The reason Kobe is a three-level scorer, not just a scorer, because if you trapped him 30 feet from the basket, he could split the trap and get to the mid-range. If you went under the screen, he pulled up. If you went over the screen, he attacked your hip. He wasn't waiting for the offense to get him a look. He was the offense, and it flowed through him. Part 4, the case study, that boy, the answer, AI, Allen Iverson, Bubba Chuck. Y'all know what it is. Now, when people hear AI, they think of the crossover. They think of speed. But if you think AI was just a slasher who got to the rim, you don't know basketball. Allen Iverson is arguably the greatest small volume 3-level scorer in history, specifically because of level 2. AI was 6 foot, he was really 5'10", 6 foot with shoes, probably $160, maybe, if that. He had no business being able to score in the mid-range against trees like Shaq and David Robinson and all these guys, but he did on the regular. It ain't no coincidence why a dude under 6 feet gets 4 scoring titles in the toughest era and the most talented era to play. Level 1, the rim. Obviously, AI could get to the back to get to the bucket, but watch how he finishes. He doesn't go through people. He goes around them. He uses the rim as a shield. In his early days, he was rising up over the top, dunking on you. He extends the ball away from his body, whether with the left hand or the right hand, to avoid the block. He was a savage in getting to the cup and knowing how to finish amongst the trees. Level 2, the mid-range. He was just as much of a savage in the mid-range as Kobe. This is where AI defies logic because he was small. Defenses tried to run him off the three-point line and make him a passer, but AI mastered the pull-up jumper. He comes off the screens, puts his foot in the ground, 1, 2, maybe 3 dribbles, stopping on a dime, pulling up, getting to the rack, beating you off the dribble, blow by with the step back, hitting real step backs that aren't travel like you see today with guys taking 4 or 5 steps on their step backs. He doesn't jump forward into the defender. He jumps high, creating separation vertically. That's a shot that requires absurd core strength and skill. AI was just that dude when it came to the midi. Going left, going right, it didn't really matter. Floaters over you. Again, pivot, triple threat, pulling up without dribbling, pulling up off of 1 little 2 dribbles because you think he's about to go to the bucket, backs you up, has you playing defense on your heels, and he just rises up in the mid-range. In level 3, Iverson shot a lot of threes, and while his percentage wasn't always great because, he didn't have much help out there, and from a nightly basis, he had to take tougher shots than most players that have ever played in the history of the game on a regular basis. Defenses still had to respect it because of his volume. He couldn't go under the screen because he gave him a foot of space, especially if it was a clean look. He would let it fly. And if he hits one or two of them things, you might be liable to get busted for 50 that night. AI was a perfect example of a 3-level scorer. He was a system. The Philadelphia 76ers offense flowed literally through him every single possession, just about. Give the ball to AI and get out the way. Let him make something happen and be ready to shoot if he passes it to you. You can't run an entire offense through a microwave. You run an offense through a 3-level score. Part 5, the case study of MJ the GOAT. You know what it is. I don't really have to say much, but we're going to get into it anyway. The standard, the blueprint. If Kobe studied the game, Jordan wrote the book on the mid-range. We all know Jordan could get to the rim. He was an athletic freak. But what made him ultimately the 3-level scorer is what he did when his athleticism declined. Watch the 1998 NBA Finals. Jordan was 35 that year. He can't fly the way he used to, and yet he dropped 45 in Game 6 to win a chip at 35 years old. How? By being a perfect 3-level scorer. The rim. Even at 35, Jordan knew how to get to his spots. He used the pump fake to get defenders in the air, then leaned in and finished. The level 2, it was a clinic, just like Kobe, just like AI. 1-2 dribbles, pump fake, and he had the ability to palm the ball. So a lot of times he might hit you with a jab step, fake with one hand like he's palming the ball about to go for the shot, and then make you rise and then just go around you like you look dumb or something. That last shot against Byron Russell, everybody know that. He sizes up, Russell drives left, crosses back to the right, then he waits. He waits for Russell to bite. He rises up from the free throw line extended. That's the purest form of 3-level scoring. It's not a heat check. It's a cold-blooded, calculated, fundamental jump shot over a defender who knows exactly what's coming and still can't stop it. Did he get away with a little bit of a push-off? Maybe. In level 3, the three-point line early in his career, 3-ball was a weakness for Jordan, but he worked on it until it became a weapon that needed to be respected. He famously hit 6 threes in the first half of a finals game against the Blazers, shrugging his shoulders as if to say, I know this isn't my specialty, but hey, I can still do it. I can sit back behind his arc and knock down threes all game if I really wanted to, but I score from all over the court, so I don't have to. Jordan's greatness lies in the fact that he could score from level 3 to the open game, which forced the defense to close out hard, which allowed him to pump fake and get to level 2, which set up his drives for level 1. It's a symphony. A microwave just makes noise. A 3-level scorer conducts the orchestra. And now the modern application, like guys like Booker and SGA, let's jump into it. So let's bring it back to the modern NBA because the distinction matters now more than ever. Look at Devin Booker. In the 2023 playoffs, he was arguably the best player on the planet. Why? Because the Suns could run the same play for him 15 times in a row and he would get 15 different looks. If the defender went under the screen, Devin Booker pulled up from the 3. If the defender fought over, he drove to the elbow and hit the mid-range. If the help came, Booker passed or finished at the rim. He's not a modern Kobe, AI, or Jordan, but he's still a really good 3-level scorer in this modern era. Sometimes he does get bottled up when he can't get into the secondary and tertiary moves against a good defender, and he might force up some ill-advised jumpers. But today, for today's game, he's still a really good 3-level scorer. Now look at that boy SGA. He might be the most unique 3-level scorer in this league today because he does most of his damage from level 2, which used to be a common theme amongst the greatest scorers of all time, like the 3 cats I just mentioned, and maybe some Vince Carters and T-Max. They dominated in the mid-range. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he lives in the mid-range, which is supposed to be inefficient, but he's proven you and all these analytics people today that jump to stats and don't really watch film and look at a player's game. The people that believe the mid-range is the worst shot, Shea Gilgeous is showing you that, hey, y'all are stupid and don't really know basketball. And if you dominate and if you develop a supreme mid-range game, you could be the best scorer in the league, as he's showing you. But because he can also get to the rim at will, and because he has improved his 3, even though it's not that good, he still needs to work on that 3-ball. It's getting better over time. He's still an unguardable player, and it's not a coincidence why he won the scoring title. The playoff litmus test, the true test when the game slows down in the playoffs, the defense eliminates your first and second options. A microwave scorer, they ain't gonna be able to cook like that in the playoffs. Maybe one game where they get hot, a contested step back with 2 seconds on the shot clock, but they ain't really gonna be able to create spaces and get the looks off that they want when the game's tight and slowed down and the defense is set in that half-court setting like we were just alluding to a little earlier. A 3-level scorer, their 3rd-level shot is still a good look. For SGA, his 3rd-level shot is a mid-range pull-up, which he shoots at about a 50% clip. If you can't score from all 3 levels, a playoff defense will eventually find a level you can't play at, and they will trap you there and expose you. So the next time you're watching the game and you see a guy hit 2 tough shots in a row, don't just call him a bucket. Look closer. Dive into the details, not the stats, but watch closer. Dive into the details of the player's game, what you see out there on that court. Is he moving without the ball, or is he waiting for the offense to find him? Or is he isolating and sizing up his defender and dissecting the defense from the paint, the mid-range, and the arc? Jordan, Kobe, and Iverson, they all had the fire of a microwave. They had that killer instinct, but they backed it up with the fundamental skill to score from anywhere at all times, against any defense and any defender. One is a spark, the other is a flame that burns for 48 minutes. You know what it is. What y'all think about the microwave versus the real 3-level legitimate score? Tap in. Hop into that comment section. Y'all know who it is, man. It's your boy, Nikki P. And this is Eat, Sleep, Breathe, Hoops. And go ahead and share this, like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until the next one, man, and don't be a microwave scorer. Work at your game to be a real bona fide 3-level assassin. Until the next time, it's your boy, Nikki P. And that's it for this one. Peace.